And then after that, I started to hang out with gang members. And when that happened, it just went all bad. I started doing 459s. I started doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So when you see an enemy, regardless of what it is, like this guy hurt one of your brothers, you gotta hurt them. And then that's how it started. It started with fights and scuffles.
Ruslan.
When did it really start going left for you in terms of self-destructive behavior as a kid?
When I was about 11 to 12 years old.
Okay, and what was that? Do you remember that fork in the road moment? Do you remember when it was like, it's on, like I'm turning up?
Yeah, it started from stealing. You know, I was like a straight kleptomaniac. I was sharing this with China Mac, and he was saying the same thing. You know, we would start stealing just petty stuff, and then it got to the point where it built up this confidence that, okay, I'm not getting caught. I don't have to listen to my parents, and I feel like I can do better than my parents. So even though I was 11, 12 years old, and then after that, I started to hang out with gang members. And when that happened, it just went all bad. I started doing 459s. I started doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So
stealing was the gateway.
Yeah, I would say.
Like shoplifting?
Shoplifting. Yeah. Stealing from, grocery stores.
Yeah.
It starts with gummy bears, and then it's like, whatever, roller skates, whatever it is that we can take,
Yeah, we were stealing from the Tower Records. I got caught stealing Eazy-E's last album. This is like goofy stuff, But that escalated into breaking into houses. Right. And then that caught me a case at 11,
right.
And so, you starting out with gang members, and then like, how does it escalate?
So, you kind of get put on, right? So you hang out with them first, they're like your family. Of course, they're not just going to start off, showing you everything, right? So they hang out with you, they make you feel kind of loved, and I don't really think that they had ulterior motives, to be honest. I just think that they were trying to build this family, because I noticed all of us were shattered. Like, we were all individuals who had emptiness in our hearts. We didn't know what that was. We didn't know what void was. You don't know what that is at 12 years old. And you're just like, these are my friends. And I remember, like, they would just, kind of court me into it, I guess, if you will. Like, okay, so you have to do this. This is what a snitch is. They start to explain and break down what we call lace you up. They lace you up about everything. Yeah, from there, it was just like, okay, when you see an enemy, regardless of what it is, like this guy hurt one of your brothers, you got to hurt them. And then that's how it started. It started with fights and scuffles. And then it was like, okay, well, dang, you got jumped. All right, bet. Next, here's a 22. Here's a 25. Like, now you have to protect yourself. And it's like, it's very simple. They take us wherever we go, in the mountains or whatever, shoot at cans and, just little things like that. And then it's like they were training us essentially. But it was all, I guess, with the intention of protecting yourself. Yeah. And then they taught us that you're representing something bigger than yourself. Don't ever, like, it's not about you anymore, So, and that was something that really, like, stuck hold to a lot of us, because we're all brothers. Like, in my gang specifically, we have a very unique thing where, like, me and my brother are in it. Some of my older heads and their brothers are in it, and if it's not brothers, it's cousins, etc. So we're really family. So it came down to, like, family first type of thing.
What was your parents thinking about all this stuff?
They didn't really know until I actually caught my case.
Okay.
They didn't know. They were like, because I would wear one thing to clothes, and then I would stash clothes, or like have my friends bring it, and I would wear the gear after that, Ben Davis, or red and black flannels and Cortezes and this and that. So they didn't know. I kind of kept it from them. Yeah. And then when I got arrested, they were like, "Do you know what your son is part of?" And they're like, "No, he's a good kid. Like, what do you know what I mean?" And
Hey, you want to see something crazy? 67% of the people who watch this channel are not subscribed. Do me a quick favor, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you stay up to date on all the videos here on the Blessed God Studios channel.
Yeah, my mother was pretty shocked when she got the call to go to I didn't go to juvie, I went to like a holding facility. And long story short, we were breaking into a house because our gang leader was in jail. He was older. And we were trying to get bail money because his baby mama was messing with a new dude and was setting him up. And so I'm the smallest one caught in the window of the bathroom. And my buddy gets apprehended by an ex-police officer. And he's like in this arm bar. And a guy's just like, get the F on the ground. So we all get swooped up. Bro, in the moment we walked in, we knew about don't snitch, don't do that. Bro, we all sang. This is what happened. You know what I mean, bro? Like right away. And I'm like, yo, I'm not built for this life. Like I'm not built for this, man. And so we all tell the story, and they separate us in different holding rooms. We all tell the story right away, and they were older. So the other two kids were I'm in 6th grade. They're like in high school, or like 8th grade, 9th grade, high school. So they got like long probation and like a probation officer. I ended up just getting something like unsupervised probation for 6 months and like some community service because I was the youngest one.
Right.
My mom got the call, and she still brings it up till this day, bro. Like, we were driving back from San Diego, and she was like, "That's where I had to go to pick you up from the thing." It's embarrassing to look back as a kid, you know, and be like, "Yo, what was I on?" But when you process it and you hear other people go through similar things, right? Then you go, okay, well, I understand the frame of mind that people are in when they make these decisions, especially when there's a family element.
Yeah.
You guys are blood family, cousins and brothers who are getting jumped by other groups, ethnic groups. Yeah. We were just bad kids. Seems like there was a practical utility to what you guys were going through, you know?
Absolutely.
And the older guys, how much older were they than you? So say you're 11, 12, you come around these guys. How much older are they?
The older cats, like we had real OGs, so like probably 20, maybe 10 years older.
Yeah.
And we had generations too. Like there's older homies, there's big homies. Older ones were like maybe 5 years older than us.
And where are they getting their cues in terms of the structure for how this is working in the gang and all that kind of stuff?
I mean, it comes from, it's just the higher ups, basically.
Just the higher ups. So they have a hierarchy of sorts. And so it goes from robbing and stealing to fighting and defending yourself. And then from that, it escalates to, okay, well, now these are your enemies. Was there ever an explanation of why you have beef with this gang or that gang? Or was it just like, they don't like our kind, therefore, when we see them, it's on sight?
No, it was just more of like, there was explanations. Okay, this is what happened between these two. And, it trickled down to that. And they did. They
did explain it.
Yeah, my OGs were very thorough, actually. They explained like why we got into it.
Yeah.
And we're more of a defensive unit. So like we have to kind of think about that. And, so they would explain everything.
Okay. And then what leads up to you catching your first case, and how old were you when that happened?
So I was 12 years old. I was only 3 months in the gang, and I ended up catching my first case, which was initially a robbery and kidnapping, but they dumbed it down, luckily, to a dissuading a witness for the benefit of a gang. It was a group of us. We wanted to rob a drug dealer, and he ended up singing. He got caught, and for another, like a whole separate case. And was like, by the way, I know these guys, they're doing these robberies on, other people and kind of like tipped them off. And then, I got arrested, bust down the door, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was at 12 years old.
Guys, we're going to go over to our Patreon exclusive segment. I'm going to ask Johnny a few more questions specifically about his interaction with his former gang members and how all of that works, because there's a family dynamic there. We're going to talk about the use of profanity and where he kind of lands on that, because that was some of the pushback you guys had when I reacted to his video, and a couple other topics. So meet us over on Patreon.
Hey, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see the full extended version of this podcast, be sure to sign up for our Patreon community for only $5 a month. It'll really help us continue contextualizing the gospel using YouTube, media, and podcasting. And in exchange, you will get full unedited versions of the podcast, of our daily after party streams, a discount for our merch store, and exclusive access to our private Discord server. It's only $5 a month. The link for Patreon is in the description of this video, as well as the pinned comment below. Again, hit the link in the description, sign up now, and I'll see you over there, all right? Peace.